my YouTube friends! If you updated to OBS 32-1 and just clicked through without reading anything, there's a good chance you have audio monitoring set up wrong right now and you don't even know it. The mixer was completely rebuilt. The icons changed, the layout changed, and the most important toggle in the entire mixer, well, it's not where it used to be. Let me walk you through it so you know what time it is. Let's get to it! Here's what's been happening since OBS 32.1 dropped in mid-March. Forums and Reddit threads filled up almost immediately, people asking about these two tiny icons sitting next to every audio source in the mixer. Nobody knew what they did, the OBS help documentation hadn't caught up yet, and the answers being passed around in the comments were, well, some weren't exactly right. And on top of that, some users opened up OBS after updating and saw their entire audio layout had been shifted. Scenes and sources were up on the left and the audio mixer was down in the bottom. And of course the display looked different too, because most people, or a lot of people, used it horizontally and now it's always vertical. And naturally a lot of people assumed that the update broke something. I'm gonna break down exactly what changed, what every icon does, why your setup may look different, and why some of the things people are calling bugs are actually features. Let's start with the mixer itself. The audio mixer in OBS 32.1 was rebuilt from the ground up by developer Warchamp7. This wasn't a cosmetic refresh, the underlying architecture changed, and with that, a new default layout. For fresh installs, meaning if you installed 32.1 on a clean machine, the mixer now defaults to a vertical orientation instead of the horizontal one we're used to. Now, if you're an existing user who updated, your layout should have carried over from whatever you had before. I'm going to come back to the why does my layout look different than question in a minute, because there's a specific reason that trips people up. But the bigger story is what got added. 3 things fundamentally changed how you interact with audio in OBS. First, new icons. Second, the ability to pin sources. And third, the mixer now shows sources from all scenes, not just your active ones. So let's take a look at each of these. Alright, the 2 icons. This is the question that's generated more confusion than anything else in the updates. So I want to be really precise here. The speaker icon, the one on the left, is your mute toggle. Click it and that source goes silent in your stream output. That's it. That's the whole thing. If your speaker is filled in, the audio is active. If it's crossed out or grayed, it's muted. Pretty straightforward. Now the headphone icon. This is the one that's causing the confusion. And for good reason, because this used to be buried 3 clicks deep. The headphone icon is your audio monitoring toggle. When you activate it, OBS will pipe that audio source through your headphones or whatever monitoring device you have set up. Now, assuming that you have your monitoring device set up in your OBS settings, you can hear it in your headphones or whatever else you have set up. Before 32.1, this setting was hidden inside Advanced Audio Properties. You had to right-click the source, find Advanced Audio, and set monitoring to monitor only or monitor and output. Now it's a single click directly in the mixer. I mean, that's a significant quality of life upgrade if you understand what it does. Now, a lot of people hear audio monitoring and think they already know what that means. They enable the headphone icon and they didn't notice any difference and they assume it's broken. It's not broken. Here's what's actually happening. Audio monitoring in OBS means that you are routing sources through a second audio path, one that goes to your ears and not your stream. It's designed for sources you can't hear by default. Think of guests' microphones coming in through a virtual cable, or a game capture audio source that you want to hear in your headset, but not double in the output. Or maybe it's just a media source you're playing during the stream. If you enable monitoring on your main microphone, the one you're already speaking into, you probably won't notice a difference, because you can already hear yourself. What you might notice is a tiny echo or delay if your monitoring output and your physical voice overlap. Here's the part that threw a lot of people off in 32.1 specifically. OBS has audio deduplication built in. So if your monitoring output is the same device as the system audio, OBS will detect the overlap and filter it, which means you'll hear no change at all when you enable monitoring. And that's the feature working correctly. It's not a bug. It's preventing you from hearing doubled audio on your stream or in your headphones. So the test for monitoring: set your monitoring audio in settings, audio monitoring device, to a device that's different from your primary system audio, like a headset, and then enable the headphone icon on a source. That's when you'll hear it working. Okay, back to the layout question, because this one is important and the answer is more nuanced than most people realize. OBS 32.1 ships with a new default dock arrangement. The scenes and sources panel are on the left by default, and the audio mixer runs along the bottom. If you did a clean install, this is what you would see. But here's what the devs confirmed in the community forums. Existing users who upgraded should not have their layouts changed. OBS preserves dock positions on update. So if your layout shifted, it's almost certainly happened because of one of these two things. First, you may have accidentally reset your dock layout. There's a menu option under View and Docks Reset UI that wipes your layout back to the defaults, and it's easy to hit by mistake. Second, the 32.1 release had a bug where the audio mixer had a minimum width that was too large for smaller monitor setups. So on a 1366 by 768 display, or if you were running OBS on a smaller window, the mixer would force itself wider than your layout could accommodate, and things would shift. And more than likely, if you're watching this, you probably already have the update and you're wondering why I'm even talking about it. Well, these videos are for everyone, and some may still be experiencing the issue. I want to be thorough here. 3 more features in the rebuilt mixer that are worth knowing about, and they don't require a lot of explanation, but they need to be pointed out. The first one is pinned sources. In 32.1, sources that are set as global, meaning they appear across multiple scenes, are now automatically pinned to the top of the audio mixer. These stay visible regardless of which scene is active, and this is huge for anyone using a dedicated microphone source or a background music track across every scene. No more losing track of your global audio when you switch. Hidden and inactive sources. The mixer now shows all your audio sources, including the ones that are hidden or set to inactive in certain scenes. Previously, if a source wasn't active in your current scene, it disappeared from the mixer entirely. Now you can see and adjust it without switching scenes. This is one that I personally dislike. I only want the audio that's in the scene I'm broadcasting, so I know what my audience is actually hearing in that scene. But that's just me. And the last one is studio mode sources. This one's been frustrating for a while if you use studio mode. Before 32.1, when you were in studio mode, the previous panel was essentially audio blind. You couldn't see your audio sources in the mixer relative to the preview scene. That's fixed. Your mixer now reflects sources from both the live output and the studio mode preview simultaneously. So here's where we land. 32.1 audio mixer is genuinely better than what it replaced. The monitoring shortcut alone is worth the update for anyone doing complex audio routing. Beyond that, this update has a plugin manager to help find issues causing OBS crashes, and a lot of the complaints that I had in my OBS We Need to Talk video have been addressed here. I'm no longer getting crashes when I change profiles and scene collections, and now I'm able to record OBS easier with a second window without constant crashing. Pretty cool, I'd say. So what do you think of the new audio mixer feature in OBS? Let me know about it down in the comments. And if you want to see what I'm talking about with the OBS issues, check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.